Hey, so it's like not even 7 in the morning yet, as you can probably tell by looking at me. Um, this should hopefully be in landscape. Oh god, that's not gonna work, is it? Is this right? I don't know how this is gonna look, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even think about that with this app, how that'd work. Alright, so we're doing, if you watched yesterday's video on could JoJo use GR as a contraceptive, today we're doing JoJo parts ranking. Now, there is no JoJo parts in F tier, or D, or C, or B, maybe A, mostly S. But I just thought it'd be nicer to just have a bit of a visual for a change. Let me know what you guys think. Would you rather me have more visuals, or would you rather me just sit and talk like I normally do? So I'm going to just rank them in each one. You can't just leave them blank, and I didn't know what to call each thing. I could just go one, as in first favourite, but then it's like you got parts, so I thought that'd be confusing. I've got them all down here, but like in order of chronological, not like of how I'd favour them, so I don't give it away. So let's begin. So my least favourite part, well, yeah, least favourite, worst part, that doesn't make any sense because all parts are amazing, is part one. Now, I love part one. I think Jonathan is a great protagonist. I don't think he's boring. I get he's just like typical pure good guy, but I think that's like a good thing. Like I quite like those kind of characters, like Superman, Captain America. I guess in anime like Tanjiro. You know, but he's just sorry. First thing in the morning, hay fever. He's just a good character. I don't think he's boring at all. I do see him getting a lot more love now. I think Dio's a great villain. I think he's a great parallel to Jonathan. And I think this part just overall was just fun from beginning to end. I don't get how some people see it as boring. Even the first episode I really liked. I love how evil they just show Dio off to be right away. Like, I get he has sad backstory, like his dad was a drunk, abusive, just a massive dick. But I mean, Dio's on a whole nother level. He turns up to the mansion. First thing he does is just boots Jonathan's dog in the face, and then later on in the episode, he puts him in a furnace. Right now, I love those pure evil villains. He introduces us to Harmon, great power system, great creativity in the fights. I thought the fights were fun. I thought it had a satisfying finale. I wasn't expecting Jonathan to die. I now it's probably got my least favourite cast. I really like Jonathan, and in terms of villains, really like Dio. Bruford and Taurus was pretty cool as well. Tarkus, whatever it was. But in terms of main cast, I really like Jonathan, Zeppeli, and Speedwagon. The others are just, they're okay. Overall, my least favourite cast, but still a good cast. But yeah, I thought the plot was solid. I just thought everything about this part was solid and really good. It was a good introduction to JoJo's to give you just a little teaser of how JoJo's going to be. And I just, yeah, I thought it was a really good part, to be honest. Like, I don't have any complaints about it. I just simply enjoy the others more. Now, next up is Stone Ocean. It's hard for me to put it this way because I love Stone Ocean. I think it's underrated. I think it's the best or second best written part. But at the end of the day, there's more to entertainment than writing. I think in terms of cast, it's got one of the weaker casts. I think the cast is still better than what people give it credit for. I do like the cast, but most of the other casts are better. I think Jolene is a pretty good JoJo and protagonist. Like, she's not my favourite, but I think she's quite cool. And you see a lot of time when franchises try and change from male main protagonist to female main protagonist, they fuck it up, like with Star Wars. So this is a time where we see them do that, but it actually works. I think Hermes is a pretty good Joe bro, or Joe sis, whatever you want to call him. I think she's quite entertaining. FF, a lot of people say they're favourites of the main cast. I like them. I think they're a bit overrated. I thought Weather Forecast was really cool, and I quite liked Anastasia. Emporio was solid as well. Like, it's a decent main cast, just not my favourite. I think it's got some really cool stand abilities, unique stands and stand fights. But again, just not my favourites. I think Poochie is one of the best villains. I think he's a great villain. I like how he changes his stand over time. Obviously, we've got to see Jotaro in this part, and he's great. Um, the whole universe resetting scene is such a cool scene. And again, the plot, I think it's one of the best written parts. I do really like Stone Ocean. But I do have two complaints, and that's first of all, the animation. I know JoJo's never been hugely known for its animation, but that's more because of its style than actual lack of quality and laziness. This part, a lot of the times, felt like it had some lack of quality and laziness in animation, like just straight up PNGs. And there was a lot of time the background characters, I don't remember this being a thing in any other part, but the background characters sometimes would just be silhouettes. Like Jolene would be running through the hall, and the characters in the background who they don't have names, they're just random prison inmates or prison guards, are just grey silhouettes because they're not important to the scene. So they're like, oh, it doesn't matter if we draw them with detail. Or like if you're looking at the cafeteria, I think that's just lazy. Now, my next one's controversial. Now this one's a bit of a toss up between the next two, but I have overall gone with part two, and it's controversial to put it that low. But let me explain. I love part two. Joseph is my favourite JoJo, up there with Giorno and Jotaro. It's kind of like a three-way tie. If I had to pick, it'd be Joseph. I love all the JoJos though. Caesar, one of my favourite JoBros. Again, he contends with Bruno. And then there's some other good ones too, but those two are the main ones. I haven't seen part 7, by the way. There's only one episode of it out. I haven't seen the episode, and I haven't read the manga. But I just simply like the other parts more. I think something is the other parts have more length, so there's just simply more in them. But I do like the fact part 2 is short. It did not need to be any shorter or any longer. I think part 2 is great. I love part 2. I think the story and the plot's good. I think the villains are really interesting. Or, well, I say interesting. They're cool. I really like the villains, like Cars, ACDC, Wamu, Santana, just all the Pillar Men. They're great. I think Harmon gets used really creatively in this part, which makes for some great fights. The humour's great. Yeah, it's just, I like the adventure aspect. It's cool. I will say though, arguably the second weakest main cast, which I know that sounds crazy, controversial. Love Joseph and Caesar. They're some of the best characters in the entire franchise. But the other characters in the cast are good, but they're not overly memorable. I think the cast is heavily carried by the main two. So, the part 6 cast doesn't peak anywhere near as high as Joseph and Caesar, but I think they average better. Like, like Anastasia and Weather Forecast and Hermes and Jolie. They're more better characters than like Lisa and Smokey. Again, I like those characters. They're good. I remember them. They're good characters. Von Stroheim, he's very cool, especially when he becomes a cyborg. I do like the part 2 cast. I don't just like Joseph and Caesar. But overall, I would put it as my second least favourite main cast, I think. But again, Joseph and Caesar are still absolutely amazing. I think it has some of my favourite fights, especially with the way they use Harmon. I'm going to do a JoJo fight tier list at some point. Let me know what tier list you want me to do that. I'll give you some ideas at the end of the video. Okay. Shinoka Plays Power Part 2, I absolutely love it. Short, sweet, concise. But I do simply like the other parts more. I will say some of the other parts have worse episodes. But I also think they have some better episodes. Like they probably go down lower, but they peak higher. And again, I get why people love part 2 so much. But me personally, though it's definitely not carried because there's so many good things about part 2, I think part 2 being people's favourite is heavily influenced by the fact Joseph is the main character. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's an amazing main character. Me personally, I want to rank it on some other things. Yeah. Next up, part 4. Part 4, I think it's great. First half, you've got Slice of Life. I love the way they did the Slice of Life. Where Slice of Life, but you still get stand battles, you still get story and exciting action. I love part 4 because it's the most unique in terms of it's just all self-contained in this one town. I love the colour palette. And the main characters aren't these ones with big lofty goals. And there's, for the most part, they are simply people with powers who are living their daily life. It's like a sitcom, but with superpowers. It's great. I love part 4. And Joseph is a great main character with a really cool stand ability. I love Shining Diamond. Okuyasu, Koichi. Obviously, you've got Jotaro in it. Just the whole cast in general. Rohan, I hated at first, but I learned to like. I didn't learn to love him like a lot of people did, but I liked him. And then I thought it was really good from the start. Really unique stand battles and abilities. And I love the episode where they go to the Italian restaurant. But when Yoshikage Kira gets introduced, it gets a whole lot better. And he is such a good villain. And again, a unique villain. He hasn't got this big, lofty goal in mind, like Poochie trying to reset the universe or Cars trying to ascend to the next level, to the ultimate life form. He's just a serial killer. Like, he's just an ordinary serial killer you'd see in real life. The only difference is he has powers. And I think, again, that's why so many people rate this as their favourite part and why they love it so much. I love it so much, just not my favourite, but I get it because it's so unique to itself and different to the others. They all are in some way, but I think it's the most unique and different. It's got good vibes to it. Like, I am a big Part 4 fan, but I do like the other two more. Now, this is one that people either rank really high or really low, usually. Stardust Crusaders. Now, I get it has a lot of what people might call filler fights, villain of the week formula, which you could say about the first half of Part 4 as like villain of the week formula, but it's done differently. People see the Part 3 ones as filler. I get that, but I personally, for the most part, really enjoyed most of them. I just, in general, loved Part 3. I think it has a great cast of characters. JoJo is at his peak in this part. Design-wise, just overall, he's so cool. I love Polnareff, quite like Karkuin. Though he's not as good as young Joseph, I still love older man Joseph. Avdol, not my favourite, but he's still kind of underrated. I do like Avdol. And Aniki's alright as well. So solid cast of characters. I love the adventure aspect, travelling and all that. Dio is back as the main villain. He can stop time. You know, like, I think this has some like unique stands. I like how they're all done after the tarot cards or Egyptian gods. Thought that was cool. Thought the stand fights are great. Obviously, it's the introduction to stands, and it left a strong impression in my opinion. If I don't want to hunch forward so much, it's because like I naturally do when I talk to people. Like normally I'm sat normally, but when I'm talking to the camera, I feel like I need to get closer. I'm like that with people sometimes. Doctor called me out for it yesterday. That's why I mentioned it. I was like, I'm not normally just sat like that, okay? Like, and he was wearing a mask too, so it's kind of hard to hear. And I had to like lean forward a bit. But anyway, yeah, I thought this had some of the best stand fights, like Jotaro Dio, the Vanilla Ice fight, solid enough story. Again, it's objectively not like the best written part or anything, but I just loved it. I love Stardust Crusaders. Um, like yeah, it was really good. And some of the favourite fights aren't even proper fights, like Darby the Gambler. That was really cool. Um, yeah, man, it was just a great part. Like, thing is, I don't want to go too in detail on the stands I love, the fights I love, the name specifics, because I want to do future tier lists for my favourite fights and stands and characters. So I'm trying to rank each part without being too direct with every little thing I like about the part, so I don't spoil future rankings. By the way, I did have my screen recorder set to portrait. I don't know how this is going to look because my phone's currently, I mean, not portrait, sorry, landscape, because my phone's currently at portrait, so I can see the app. So I'm worried this video is going to come out dodgy and no one's going to like it because it's just going to look stupid. Hey, if the video looks stupid, just listen to it like a podcast. Just ignore it. Just have it on the background. Listen to my JoJo opinions. It's probably something I should have mentioned at the beginning of the video. If it annoyed you, you probably would have clicked off by now. Oh well. So yeah, part 3 is great. Now, a favourite, I think part 3 peaks higher. Just about. But this part averages so much better, and I think it's arguably has, controversial opinion, the best cast of main characters overall, with one of the best JoJos. Don't get how people think Giorno's boring. I think on average it's got the best episodes, and again, arguably the best writing, along with Stone Ocean, one of the two. Great villain. I love Diavolo and Doppio. JoJo's part 5. I love how each character has their own interesting backstory. I feel like they're all really fleshed out. I love each character and their stand ability. Like Bruno, Narancha, Giorno, and Mista are all amazing characters, and I also do quite like Fugo and Abakio, not as much as the other four. I think it's a very strong cast of characters with all unique, interesting abilities. I love Giorno, how he's like almost a mix of Jonathan and Dio. He's got the pure heartedness of Jonathan, but the ruthlessness of Dio. Like, we don't see many main JoJo characters actually kill on screen. Giorno does multiple times without a second thought, because he understands you got to go. And I love that. I love the overall vibes and theme and designs for Part 5, the art style. Sorry. The creative stand abilities and stand fights, how they're used, I think are great. I think the plot is very good, and I love the whole dynamic between Doppio and Diavolo, their split personality, and how they're meant to be like a representation of the Antichrist. Thought was cool, and I love the thing. It's so funny. It always used to make me laugh when watching it when Doppio would pick up a random object. Like, he'd make phone noises with his mouth, pick up a random object, and use it to talk to Diavolo, like his other personality. Like, he'd pick up a kid's ice cream. When he hangs up, he just throws the ice cream away and the kid starts crying. Or he'll pick up a frog, he'll speak to it, and to hang up, he just bashes the frog's head against the rock. He's just mental. And I love it. And I like the cast of villains for it, like the side villains and that as well. Like, damn it, what's his name? Risotto. He's so cool. Such a cool stand ability. He's such a cool design. Cioccolata, however you pronounce his name. The absolute psycho. The Requiem abilities we get introduced to. Polnareff's back. The whole final sequence was really cool. I do wish Giorno has the drippiest outfit when he's in his black outfit, when he's a mafia boss in the end. I wish we got to see him actually use that in a fight. He should have been part 6, man. Okay, it baffles me to say, why did Giorno not stop the universe reset? Some people say because it's not a direct threat. Which means it's not a direct threat to Giorno, so his Requiem wouldn't activate. You having a laugh? The entire universe is getting reset. It's a direct threat to everybody. I don't know. But yeah. I think Fighting Gold is one of the best intros. Giorno's got the best theme overall, I'd say. Diablo has a pretty good theme as well. Cool ability. I love Emperor Crimson. Yeah, again, I couldn't go too into detail with a lot of the things I wanted to go into detail about, because that would involve talk about stand abilities, how I'd rank the characters and the fights. I want to do future JoJo tier lists. I love this franchise. I want to talk about it more. Let me know in the future what other random JoJo videos do you want me to do, and what tier list do you want me to do next. Fights tier list. I'll try and include as many fights as possible. Character tier list or stand tier list. Let me know what you guys want next. I'm really hoping this video turned out okay. Alright, yeah, so that's my JoJo part ranking. Let me know how you'd rank your JoJo parts, and see ya.